This video is intended to give a quick overview of a Capital Vending single hopper control board kit. This control board is designed to go in any Rowe dollar bill changer that has one hopper. Popular applications are for the BC1, SBC2, BC2RC, BC200, and BC100. Same board works in all of those. One part when you're hooking it up, the header up here, C2, that is used exclusively for the BC1, and then this other connector here, C4, that would be the connector you would use to connect to the hopper in any other application. When you're installing it, we have a little legend here, and this has the dip switch settings for the 4 Mars validators that can be used, typically an AE2400, AE2600, or VN2500. So as you own this board, if you switch validators, each time you do that or when you do your initial install, use that as a guide to know, so you know how to set up the switches on your validator. We have a status codes legend right here. There's an LED on the control board, which is this top LED. In the event that there's a malfunction, the LED will blink, and before you hit reset, you want to kind of keep track of why or how many times that's blinking. The most popular ones would be security, which is 4 blinks, and that typically will happen if the emitter or detector on the coin payout assembly are defective, and that will happen as soon as it goes to payout. Within 1 second, the board will shut down because it does not have the ability to pay out coins. Final step I'm going to talk about, there's a connector here, C3. When we ship that out, there's a jumper connector on there, and that essentially, you could take that jumper off if you need to monitor the coin levels of the hoppers. When we send that, we typically do not install that because most customers don't use it. There's also built-in software in this board that if it pays out and it doesn't pay out a coin after 16 seconds, it'll shut down. So that kind of prevents a jackpot, and then if it starts to get low, it will go out of service. Final part of this video, I want to talk about how you set the payout. And right here, this control board has just a single set of 5 dip switches, and the values of the dip switches are printed on the right hand side. So it's 1, 2, 4, 8, and NC. So on this board, there's 4 dip switches. So when I turn, dip switch number 3 is 1, 2, 4, so that corresponds to 4 coins. So I would just essentially slide this dip switch to the right, which is on. And then so the dip switch 1, 2, and 4 are to the left, so that will give me a total of 4 coins. After I make any changes to those dip switches, I will hit this top reset button. Ideally, anytime you do that, it should be turned off. Here's your on-off switch. So anytime you would change those switches, you would need to hit reset or have it off and turn it on. For instance, if you were to make this payout, if you wanted to pay out $1 coin, I would turn the board off, just slide all the switches to the left just so I can see them. If I turn switch number 1 on, turn the board on, hit reset, that would give me 1 coin per dollar value. So this board will automatically know if you put in a $1 bill, 1 coin, $5 bill, it will automatically know to pay out 5 coins. Other troubleshooting help, there's an input button down here to the right, and just you need to use a screwdriver. When you press this input button, it essentially will simulate a dollar bill credit. So the control board needs to be working, so the status light cannot be blinking. When you press that input button, if your board pays out, that would indicate that the board is working. So if your validator is taking money and not paying out, then I would look at the validator or the harness from the validator to the control board.